How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek. Welcome back to the channels, because we're streaming live on my channel and also on Efrain's channel tonight. And we're here for a bit of a catch-up about good old Thought Bubble and our recent jaunt to London. So, I'm joined, as ever, by my good pals. We've got James T. Keegan. How are you, James?
Ayo, pip pip cheerio.
What the shit's that? What was that? What was that?
It's the Union Jack rubbing off on me.
You rubbed off on you filth. Pip pip cheerio. I've not heard that one, but that's nice to see you, James. New change. We've got Efrain all the way from warm, sunny San Diego. How are you, Efrain?
Before I go any further, everybody that I met over there, you are one of the nicest people I have ever met. The way you just were so nice to me, I deeply appreciate it. You know, I just just from the bottom of my heart, the way you guys are just really great people. So,
thank you, Efrain. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, he was addressing that towards me and Charlie, I think. Maybe not James. Maybe he's not James. But no, thank you, Efrain. We do appreciate that. And we're going to touch on that in a little bit. Now. Yes, we've been to Thought Bubble, and we are going to talk about Thought Bubble, but this show is predominantly about London. And one of the things we very quickly realised was, I know shite all about London. So we thought we had best get a proper Cockney geezer on the show to kind of help out with a little bit of knowledge. So we've got good old Charlie from Geeky Guy Comics. How are you, Charlie?
Something, lads, all right?
Not bad at all, mate. No, we could have really done with you, mate, when we're going around London.
Yeah.
Do you know, no word of a lie, we're going to get to it in a bit, but this dickhead took us around the back of Buckingham Palace. We walked for about...
I thought you were pointing at me for a second there.
No, three-quarters of an hour. I said, I'm sure you can see stuff from the back of Buckingham Palace. It's just a frigging brick wall, isn't it? 3/4 of an hour walking in a circle. Anyway, never mind. So, yeah, nice to have you here, Charlie. We've got lots to talk about tonight.
Thank you very much.
Before we get into it, because we are going to cover Thought Bubble first, I just want to quickly jump to the chat, see who we've got. We've got the Logan report. Ooh, look at that Transformers image. Loving that Logan report. Loving that. Looking very cool. Welcome to the channel. We've got Andy. Nice to see you, Andy. Hope you're well. We've got Wayne. It's the bloody tourists. Yeah. And we certainly were as well. We've got Panels and a Half Pint. Nice to see you, Sean. Hope you're doing well. We've got Terry, Deadman Comics. Good to see you, bud.
Hey, there he is.
Did Ed Vic go to Thought Bubble? I can't remember.
I don't think he did, no.
I didn't see him in the convention, but he was probably... Oh, he did go because him and Efrain talked about cricket for about 4 hours, didn't you?
Yeah, they did.
I remember that.
We videoed it.
Yeah. You were educated on the sport, weren't you? So, Deadman is saying, glad you're back in the warmth, Efrain. He was in T-shirts and shorts all the time when he was in London. We nearly killed him on the first night, I have to say.
His face was frozen into a pouch.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper tour maybe wasn't the best idea, but never mind. Efrain's wearing a T-shirt, not jealous at all. But look what the T-shirt's got on. What does the T-shirt say, Efrain? London. Charlie, can you pronounce that in the native tongue for me? How do you say that?
London.
Yeah, London. We've got Big Stack, Evelyn Gents. Apologies, not able to watch currently, but we're watching the rewind. It was great to see you all at Thought Bubble. Absolutely, mate. It was lovely to bump into you. So, yeah, great seeing you. We've got C4 Darkman. Nice to see you as well, my friend. Terry is saying happy birthday, Charlie, for tomorrow. How old are you, Charlie? 50?
I'm 39. 39.
39.
Yeah, 39, mate. 39.
I think we should all try and do a London accent. So I've never heard Efrain do a London accent. Efrain, can you do a London accent?
no.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, chap.
Good. This is a good one to test you, Efrain. Core Blimey Governor. See if you can do a Core Blimey Governor. We'll do James first so you can warm up. James, do a Core Blimey Governor.
Go blimey, governor.
That's not bad. Charlie, sure how it's done?
Cool, blimey, governor.
Oh, that's very good. Efrain?
Core blimey, governor.
Brilliant.
I got a hint of Mary Poppins here. I like that.
On our next show, I'm gonna make you guys talk with a Spanish accent, okay?
Yeah. Plug that. Look at this beautiful face. Welcome back, Keegers.
And nice and refreshed.
Wayne, I was enjoying the Photoshop pics. Yeah, we'll just slap ourselves all over. There's no way Charlie isn't 40 yet.
Wow. Next year's a big 4-0.
Wow. London.
Here we go.
39. Wayne saying, are you having some pie and mash for your birthday, Charlie?
Please tell me you have pie mash when you come down.
We didn't, mate. We didn't.
Oh, come on.
No,
You
we had fish-
definitely
we had
needed
fish
me
and
on your
chips.
tour, didn't you?
Either. Didn't have
You
chili.
needed me on your tour.
I know. Well, do you know what? I think we had everything but British food. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we had fish and
Efrain,
chips,
I
and Efrain
apologise.
refused to taste the curry sauce. Just flat out no. I'm not. It wasn't the best curry sauce either, to be honest.
No, it was cool. We've got Arista Jack. Nice to see you, Arista Jack. Hope you're well. Hi, Peter and friends. How is everyone? And how was Thought Bubble? It was tremendous, mate. Tremendous. We'll have to get you there next year because it was great. Good fun. 40s food, yeah. It was great to meet you, Efrain, at Thought Bubble. Not too sure about the rest of the what's that word? James, is that an Irish word? Hallions? Hallions?
I think it's like scoundrels.
Scoundrels.
Should have just put scoundrels.
Scoundrels, yeah. Okay, right. So we're about to kick off, guys. We're going to go through just a few slides. Firstly, about Thought Bubble. We're going to show you what we got at Thought Bubble. Then we're going to talk about our trip to London. We're not going to bore you with hundreds of pictures and stuff like that. We're just going to talk about the kind of the things we saw in case anybody else is interested in going. Before we do that, I've got a little video to play because this really was kind of the accumulation of 3 years worth of relationships between myself, Efrain, and James in particular. And I was on a show earlier tonight, watching a show earlier night with Rod the Rican. Remember Rod, Efrain?
Yes.
Yeah, and Rod mentioned that it was him that kind of set it up. So I went back and had a little look-see. So this is the first time we all kind of met.
Triple G, man. What you got, brother? How you doing?
Station, everybody. Station. I am feeling very concerned about the talent on this panel. My artworks just barely stick men, so I'm not confident here tonight, Rod.
Hey, Peter, I'm going to get along with you really fine. I'm exactly the same way.
We've got Efrain from Past Point One Comics. Hi, Efrain.
Hey, everyone.
We've got good old Jason. Hi, Jason. How are you doing?
Hiya, folks.
We've got James. Hello, Peter. That's about 3 years ago.
It's crazy how fast that goes, isn't it? Look how fresh-faced and young you look.
I do just want to pick up, James. What was that intro? Hello, Peter. What
I was
was
nervous.
that?
It was probably like my third stream or something like that. I was just like, hello, Peter.
That was the first time you'd ever met Efrain. Charlie, I think the first time I ever met you face to face was at Thought Bubble. I think we didn't do a stream together.
I don't think we did. I really don't think we did. But it was the pleasure's all mine. It's an hour of bromance.
Oh, I liked how you did that.
James, like you looked older back then. What happened?
I had for some reason grew my hair long, so I had my hair tied in a ponytail. It was terrible.
You're like Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Peter, on our first show, I said I think we're going to get along really well, and that's the truth. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it absolutely did. And you know what? we're gonna touch on it when we talk about Thought Bubble, but I think it's fair to say we've all kind of bantered around the word community and stuff like that before, and it's got negative connotations at times because of some of the shit that happens in the comic book community. But I really do thoroughly, a bit like you just said earlier, Efrain, thoroughly appreciate the friendships and things I've made over the last 3 or 4 years, and I count all of you guys is part of that. So yeah, it was lovely meeting up again for Thought Bubble, and obviously meeting you for the first time, Efrain. We've got Connie joining the chat. Nice to see you, Connie. Hope you're well. It was lovely to see Connie at Thought Bubble as well. And do you know what I like most about seeing Connie at Thought Bubble? And Charlie, you can probably attest to this. She didn't give James the lickings of a dog. It was tremendous.
Not at all. It was awesome to see.
It was superb.
She was nothing but charming to me. It must have been behind my back.
No, it was the banter back and forth. You couldn't get a foot up on her. She was just so quick-witted. It was just superb. Absolutely superb. I loved watching it. Fuzzy saying nice cut there. Thank you very much, man. But Jack, nice to see you, Jack. Hope you are well. And Ed, internet bringing lovely people together. Absolutely. Okay, let's talk Thought Bubble. Before we get there, Efrain, did you do any research about coming to the UK before you got here?
No, of course not. I was relying
What's the
on
worst that
you
could
guys.
happen?
What's the worst that could happen? So, I mean, we hadn't even gotten into Thought Bubble, and you'd changed your room,
Yes.
and discovered that your American plugs didn't work anymore. So tell me a little bit what the hell, what happened? What went on?
We got our rooms and I tried turning on the lights. They wouldn't go on. I went, dang, man. So I went back downstairs. I told my lights weren't working and they gave me another room. I thought they would have told me, you have to put the card. Then I went to the second room and the lights weren't working again. I went, okay, what's going on here? And then I sent you a message, Peter. He says, you got to put the card in to the slot there to turn on the electricity. And then I said, okay. So, I mean, I think they could have told me that at the front desk, but they didn't. And then,
I would imagine, Efrain, they just assumed that I'm trying to think of a polite way of putting it.
Yeah.
That you would know to put the card in the slot.
And then I was trying to look for an outlet to, for my charger, and it wasn't the out. I was looking everywhere for it. And I know you need a special outlet to put into the wall outlet, so to speak. So those are my two first hiccups,
It's those things that, like, unless you're the one going somewhere, you just don't think about.
Don't
we would never have thought to tell you, oh yeah, you're gonna need this plug or whatever, I just realized that's 5 hotel rooms you burned through between 2 hotels over the course of the trip.
That's the first hotel, yeah.
yeah, 2
in
in the first hotel, and 3 in the second hotel.
Fuzzy saying proper diva antics. Fuzzy, it just got more exciting from there because we went for an evening meal in that hotel. We knew Charlie and the guys were already drinking, so we wanted to get quickly as possible. So we said, let's just eat in this hotel. It was 45 minutes for them to microwave some soup. So
45 minutes, soup comes out. We're assuming it all comes together. It didn't. So another 15 minutes later, we still don't have our mains. And then Efrain gung-ho.
Yeah, I said, look, we're out of here. This is taking too long. We got to go. And that's all basically what I said to her. I'm sure I was being, I don't know. I'm sure
you were super polite, Efrain, but we got the soup for free, so that was good. And then we're headed over to our favorite haunt, which is good old Spoons.
Yep.
And we met some of these beautiful individuals. Charlie, you were already there with the gang.
Yeah.
So you know what? Excuse me. Like I say, proper joy just seeing all of these people again. Some of which we've seen previous times. Some it was the first time. So Tim's son was there, Preston. Sean wasn't there last year, I don't think, was he?
No. Sean weren't there last year. I don't think Dan Dixon came out with us. Chris Bell was obviously there as well. It was just fantastic. And that picture on the right hand side, that we never did get the one when I arrived, did we? We said it. We was like, yeah, we'll get a good picture. Never did.
Yeah. But it was just great. Absolutely great jumping into everybody. We'll start with you, James. I want to talk a little bit about the people of Thought Bubble and why it's important. What's your high? Well, I'm not going to talk about what you did on the Saturday night.
I'll just say that I was basking in shame for all of Saturday for my antics on Friday night. Because we didn't eat anything, I blame the hotel because I needed that barbecue chicken soakage in there. No, it's just like the convention's the secondary thing. When I go to this thing, it's to see everybody and have fun, and be with friends for 2 or 3 nights. Like it's just brilliant. Like honestly, like I'm already like excited for the next thing.
Yeah. And Charlie, I've said to you before, probably in a drunken stupor last year, I class you as kind of the godfather of the YouTube community. You kind of assemble everybody around you. You must, we've talked before about community, but you must enjoy these kind of social gatherings, I would have thought.
I'm from London, so I just like a good piss up. And not going to lie, I do love going in. And as James has said, the Thought Bubble, the actual convention comes second because kind of meeting up with all you guys. Like when you think about it, all this started during COVID, like all the YouTubing and stuff. Everyone started talking through that. If we didn't do that and we didn't keep the ties that we've got, we wouldn't be having pictures like this and we wouldn't have met Efrain, who, following on from what you said, absolute pleasure to meet you. I'm still shocked of how old you are. I don't believe it. It must be that amazing sunshine that I'm still not happy with, that you keep sending pictures to me. I don't want to see it. Okay. But no, it's awesome. Thought Bubble, every single year, you kind of look forward to it. And then before you know, it's done in 3 days and you kind of look forward to the next one.
My only thing, I'm going to come to you in a second, Efrain, to find out how this compares the social element, not the con element. The social element compares to like American cons. But before we move, the only thing I would say, Charlie, and it's something for I think all of what to think about is we need to get better prepared for next year.
Yes.
We need to get restaurants booked and all that kind of stuff, don't we? Do you know what I mean? Because the crowd's getting bigger and bigger. What was it, 15 of us or something?
15, and that was on the Sunday, wasn't it? So it was like even less. Yeah. So
and trying to book an Indian or a Chinese or anything with 16 people is ridiculous.
Yeah. Efrain, interested. Is this the kind of thing that occurs at your kind of cons?
So when I go to cons here in the United States, like any con, we have a good time, and but 99% of the time we splinter off. Yeah. And I'm always with about 2 or 3 people, and I already did that at the con too. Everybody splintered off. But after the con, we never get together like you guys did. Maybe it's just spontaneous. Hey, who wants to join me? And it's usually just my family and a couple of friends. So just about 4 or 5 of us. What you guys do is fantastic. I don't think we'd ever do that here in the States because we just go our own separate ways, after that. But I love that. I love that. As much as I enjoyed Thought Bubble, I was like, wow, these guys are just hanging out and having fun in a bar. Eating with you guys. I go, we never do that here. I mean, we eat, but just like about 4 or 5 people. It's fantastic what you guys do there. And that kid sitting next to me, when he told me he was only 18 years old, I went,
Preston.
How old are you? 18? I go, what's the age of drinking here? Obviously, it's 18, I believe, right?
Yeah.
18, I was like, damn, man. I tell you, one of the most mature 18-year-olds I have ever met. Man.
Yeah. So, until he started trying to arm wrestle everybody.
Yeah.
But it is interesting, Efrain, because I think, it's that, I don't want to say drinking culture, but I know you said before we went that you weren't going to, you're not a big drinker like myself. But then the Saturday night, you were having a few shots yourself, weren't you?
I didn't want to let anybody else down think I was a wee Yank. So
yeah, it was a good night. So yeah, as usual, it's the people that make Thought Bubble. But the Thought Bubble convention itself is always tremendous. So anyone that didn't get to go, the routine now. Thought Bubble is a week-long convention which kind of accumulates in a 2-day Saturday, Sunday con with a whole host of guest talent, writers, artists, all kinds of people there. It's hard. I don't know how to describe the comic convention scene these days because every con's different. Mm-hmm. This isn't the con to go and buy back issues and key comics and things like that. It's more creator-owned materials with some big guest stars as well. There was a fair few people going, but that wasn't really my focus this year. So sadly, I kind of missed a few. Was there anybody in particular you guys were excited to try and see when you went? James, was anybody in particular you had on your list to catch up with?
I'd never met Tinian before, so that was one I was excited to kind of chat to him for a minute at least. Like Punchline's character, I'm a big fan of, so it was nice to chat to him. So that was the only person I was really familiar. I was looking as they were announcing people at like art styles of who I could possibly get commissions off of and stuff. But there was nobody like a dream person to meet that was really like going to the thing or anything. I was just excited to see kind of what kind of artists were going to show up and what their looks were going to be,
Efrain, how about yourself? Was anybody? Did you even look at the guest list before we went, Efrain?
No, I looked at it briefly. I've seen John Lee's, right? Talking to him, well, trying to understand what he was saying, but I wanted to say hi to him, which I did. I bought a book off of him. Also, James Tinian. What I liked is the lines were long, but they weren't long. Not compared to other cons I've been to. It took me over hours to go see James Tinian at San Diego Comic Con, because the line just wraps around, and I just had a chance to talk to him really quick, really nice gentleman. So
And how about you, Charlie?
I think like when I first went to Thought Bubble in 2021, I think it was, I kind of made the mistake of taking a suitcase full of books to get signed. And then they kind of just sit in long boxes. You never see them again. I think the one way to sum up Thought Bubble is that it's an intimate convention where if you want to engage with the content creators and like the comics and the artists and stuff, you have the opportunity to do that. Yeah. If you're heading there thinking that you're going to be able to buy loads of comics and toys and collectibles, it's not like that. I don't think Thought Bubble is going to grow to that big thing. I mean, I would say this was probably the weakest lineup that Thought Bubble's had in about 2 or 3 years, but it was probably the busiest I've seen it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there were so many. What we did over on a Killer Comic Show is that normally when we do the lead up to Thought Bubble, we kind of just focus on like the big names like the Jocks and the Two Little Tays, whereas this time around we kind of focused on the up and coming comic creators and stuff, and that really worked well because we was walking up and down the aisles bumping into people that we'd had on the show and that we'd spoken to and finding out more about them. But I think thought bubble overall, it was just looking at things I hadn't seen before. So I got commissions done, got signings and signatures. It was just great to just go there and just chill out with you lot.
Absolutely. I think Lewis has made a comment here saying, "Oops, sorry, that's Connie." Lewis made a comment saying, "I love Thought Bubble in recent years, but the guest list has been a bit stagnant." I have to agree with that. It's the same people, and it's great to have so many creators going, but the kind of the word bubbles that they put out, these things. There's that many names on, that many random names, you kind of get lost to who's going. So I completely missed until I think the day before we're going that Chip Zdarsky was going to be there. I don't know how I missed that, But yeah, so I think the guest list could do with a bit of a refresh.
And I think just touching on that, Pete, sorry, mate, is that obviously it's called Thought Bubble, but I think Thought Bubble have their own bubble of people that continuously go there. So like the Lee Garbitts, the Jocks, the James Tinnins and stuff like that, obviously because they're linked to Distillery, but I think they could do with a refresh.
They need a kind of a big headliner each year, don't they, really? I think. We've got 27 people watching, which is phenomenal. Thank you so much, everybody. Please do hit that like and subscribe. Make sure, do us a favor, please, go and check out One Good Scare over on YouTube for all your horror content. Check out Past Point Comics, and please go and subscribe to the Killer Comic Show live show every Thursday night at 9 p.m. We're going to chat about that later on in the show, but please do make sure you go and check those out. Chris is saying John Leeds for me, top bloke, amazing work. Yeah, we're going to touch on him in a bit. And I know Chris has read the first volume of Sync, which is just an amazing book. So yeah, superb. Connie, part of me doesn't even go for the big names. I like seeing the people who make their own little zines, their own crafts and stuff. Yeah, I agree, Connie. There's some great books to pick up. Sean, the Optimus Prime cover Charlie got for free from Baz was something else. Absolutely. And we might see that in a little bit. Shows you don't have to pay for quality commissions, proper decent artists that you don't have to pay for. And that's a great point, Sean, because some of the commissions I know some of them got were a little bit pricey. And then when you compare them to some of the ones that cost peanuts, and I'm going to show you a couple of mine, the quality that you can get is just amazing. There's a big comic festival in Italy the week before that attracts a lot of stars. I fancy doing that one, Fuzzy. I've looked at that one before.
Posting. There's a lot of cool people.
That's the one Francesca Fantini was at when she travelled and she lost all her luggage.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I am. I fancy doing an overseas con, and that's maybe something we can chat about at some point. We've got James Mack. Nice to see you, James. Hope you are well, my bird. Right then, so let's move on, guys. This is the con, as you can see, absolutely heaving. That's as close to the con as Ed got, I believe.
Was he there? I didn't even know he was there.
Well, he was stood next to it. Next to it. I believe he bought 2 tickets over the space of 6 months, but never used either of them. So, boggles my mind.
I know he got through 2 or 3 seasons of The Punisher, though, in that week.
He did. But to be fair, Von Hoot only spent an hour in the con. Do you know what I mean? He was
I missed half the first day. So
well, you missed half the first day because you were naughty the night before. Dirty boy. Von Hoot was unconscious all of Saturday until he went out for tea. And then I think he was unconscious most of Sunday and then turned up for an hour.
Yeah.
Just crazy. It's lovely hearing what it was like. And maybe Ed will get inside next year.
Have you noticed that Ed's picture of Snoopy is similar to what he's doing looking at the comic convention?
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Yeah. Maybe if Ed's a bit like Father Jack. Maybe if we tie like a stick with a bottle of beer in front of him, he'll just kind of find his way into the con. Do you know what I mean?
And he does sound like him. He's like, when he gets drunk.
I can't do the expression, but yeah. So yeah, that's the con. Superb con. Efrain, you got to meet. You mentioned earlier, John. John is a guy who obviously has been on a few of my shows. A lovely man. Yeah. And I have to say, Efrain, it was an absolute pleasure when we first bumped into him. Just watching your face as John did his usual kind of talking 50 miles an hour in broad Scottish. And I could sense immediately you had no clue what was being said to you. It was superb. Absolutely superb. But a lovely man. And you picked up a book from him, didn't you?
Yeah, that Sync book. Yep.
Yeah.
He signed it.
Great book.
Yeah.
Great book.
Love the cover.
Yeah. And then good old James Tinian there again. Lovely guy. And you mentioned earlier, no line from him, which was strange.
There's a line for like there'd be chunks of the day where you catch them and there's nobody there. So like I ran up and got because I wanted to get a photo earlier, but there's people in the queue. I didn't want to bother. So earlier I was like, I'll grab a photo now.
Yeah,
it's nice.
But again, he's a big name star, isn't he? Lovely guy to have there.
Yeah.
Lovely guy to have there. Okay, guys, anything you want to mention about Thought Bubble before we look at some of the bits and bobs we all picked up?
Why don't they do it during warmer weather?
We don't have warmer weather in.
We don't have warmer weather. That was warm. What are you talking about? It was scorching.
We had a coffee in the sunshine outside the Majestic Hotel.
Yeah.
No, this is where they had. You guys are teasing me. I remember seeing the Olympics in London. It was the Summer Olympics. So.
They had big heat lamps, Efrain. We installed heat lamps all over the city. No. That's a good question. I think it's just where they've always done it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You'd have all the big I'd say it's for guest availability. Like you have all the big American cons be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I think about that.
Chris is saying that was mild. Me and Chris are from the north, so that was positively warm.
It's funny just for everyone watching like that. We had downplayed to Efrain the entire time how cold it was going to be. We were scoffing at the idea of him wearing long johns or bringing in like a ski jacket. We were like, it's not going to be that cold. It was freezing.
Yes.
Like the entire week was absolutely freezing, like ungodly cold. So I felt bad about that.
I don't think Thought Bubble was that cold. I think it
Thought
was
Bubble was
London.
okay. London was Baltic, like really, we had snow one morning and
it was cold, but I think it's because it's the first time I ever been there. It was fantastic. Even though it was cold.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's have a little look see at some of the stuff that we picked up when we were there. I'm going to start off with a few bits that I got. If I can work out how to. There we are. So you probably don't know this because he never mentions it, but a good friend of ours, Mr. James Boyd, is now a tops artist, and he did me this stunning rendition of Art the Clown on a card.
Love that.
So thank you so much for that, James. Really, really do appreciate it. I'm not going to show you everything that I've got because I've got a massive pile of stuff here. I got a load of signatures, a load of bits and bobs. I'll show you some of the commissions. I think I sent a lot of people this guy's way. This is a guy called Roger who does the artwork for the Muppets, and I asked him to do as a for any Muppet he wants. So he did as a Kermit the Frog. I think Charlie reminders I might was this 30 quid or 35 quid or something?
25.
25, yeah, 25.
Wow,
25
that's a
quid.
great deal.
Which is just insane for the quality of that. And Charlie's got a similar one, which he might show off. I think this is one of my favorite things of the convention. I absolutely love this. And for 25 quid, you can't grumble. Yeah. I got this. Can't remember what her name is. But
this is Abigail.
Abigail Harden.
Yes.
Abigail Harden.
Yeah.
So this is a limited edition San Diego book that she drew and inked for us. I remember, Charlie, you talking about this one lots and lots of times. But yeah, I love this cover.
Yeah, because she was there last year, and she was because it was moving over from Comixology to I think Dark Horse, and then she was kind of promoting it. So yeah. She's kind of back there again, and she actually smashed it with cover.
I got a signature last year because she does the variant covers for the Bloodborne comic books.
That's right.
Actually, I didn't realize she was there. I would have put money aside for a commission. I would have got like a Bloodborne Hunter offer.
Well, she did this. I think this was 90 quid. I want to say.
So the book wasn't it? The book was 75, and then the actual drawing was another 15, and then it was 10 to add ink onto it.
Yeah,
something like that. It's broken up in a weird way like that, but
yeah,
it's nice to know you took your accountant with you, Pete.
Yeah. Well, halfway through the con, I hadn't realised when you tap your card, it sends like a receipt. So my wife messaged us with this screenshot of about 5 things and said, "Is this you?" I was like, "Oh shit!" So I said yes, and then she never responded. So, so there's a guy called Gustavo who I've seen a few times. He always does as a sketch. He does a He-Man last year. I told him to draw any Thundercat he wants, and he does as a slide. Which
he drew you James.
He drew James. Yeah. This was again only 30 quid, and this look at that compared to the dog shit art in the actual book. This is stunning, absolutely stunning. Then the guy who is doing, I can't remember the name of the book. What's the one where he sees cartoon characters?
Uncanny
Valley.
Uncanny Valley, that's it.
So I asked him to do as a Donatello. I think this is stunning, absolutely stunning.
Like the light shading on a color book like that is
insane.
mad.
Yeah.
That's
Is it
beautiful.
David Watcher, isn't it? David Watcher.
David Watcher. Just stunning book. I then gave him the choice between, I think it was a Thor or a Green Goblin, and he went for Green Goblin.
Like, that's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that one. It's one of my favorites.
Do you know the bit that's really good on that is the white pen.
Yeah.
But it looks insane.
The reflection in his eyes as well is just stunning. Then I saw Ram V when we were in the line for Charlie Adler.
This is the best one. Everyone watching, this is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, what the shit is that? Look at the state of... I mean, fair play. The guy's a writer predominantly, but I think he does artwork as well.
No.
Yeah. And just quickly, again, I don't know the name of the artist. Carnage, Remark, bit weird, looks like an ant. Not sure about that one. But then he did as a Batman Remark, which I quite like. The Superman Remark down the bottom here. And a Wonder Woman Remark, which is quite nice. I picked up a whole host of other bits and bobs, books and things like that. You got rammed. What is that? Yeah. Goblins, Wild, awesome, Throg. Yeah. So that's some of the bits and bobs I picked up. Mr. Keegan, you got anything you want to show off?
I do. I have a few things. So, I don't think I really bought anything last year. I picked up I think I brought a couple of books and got signed. So I decided to splurge a little on some commissions this year. But before that, I got Pete, let's go into the grave. So I got some. My mic. Punchline signed by Tinian as well.
Tinian.
Yeah, so I got that.
I love Tinian's signature.
Yeah, it's really nice. I was hoping he'd have like a green or a purple, but he didn't. But anyway. And then I just got some random comics signed. So I got some Batman, Joker. I brought something as Killing the Children blank because I found it and the artist was there, but then I just didn't get anything off the artist, so I just got the two of them to sign it. Some Killing the Children. And then, I got a couple of commissions, so I got these.
James, you got to hype up these commissions, man. Some of them were incredible.
Yeah. So Francesca Fantina, just loved her art style. We walked past her desk and I was like, wow. So I brought a few blanks with me. So I brought a Fright Night one, an Elvira one, the Fog one, and an Evil Dead one. So I was kind of just looking at browsing for what art style would match what characters. I went up to Francesca Fantina and I said, do you want to do Ash from Evil Dead or do you want to do Fright Night Vampire? And she goes, fine. She didn't know what Fright Night was, but she was like, that sounds cool, I'll do that. So I got a Jerry from Fright Night. I love the use of color in it. I think it is a little bit because she doesn't know what Fright Night is. It's like a vampire, but I think it's just an amazing coloring in it and everything. So yeah, I love that.
It's good that you picked her to do a vampire though, because her book that she done called Stake is amazing, and she done all the artwork for that. Is wicked. So she's obviously done what her take of a vampire is.
Yeah,
because that kind of looks
Jerry
like it would feature well in Stake.
Yeah, but I like the red for the apple and the scarf and everything. That's great. So I'm happy with that. Charlie Adlard does his usual things, those quick sketches. I asked him to do a Freddy. That's there. So I think that's pretty. I mean, for 4 minutes or something like that, that's pretty amazing. I think, pretty good. Yeah. I was happy that at the end of it, he said oh, that was fun. Thanks for that. And I was like, well, thank you. So that was good. And then this
You've heard that before, haven't you, James?
That's it. And then I think this might be my favorite comic in my collection now. This one. So I brought an Elvira blank, and just by chance I somehow missed that the Elvira and Harland artist was there. So her name is Silvio Califano, I think. So we were walking past Peter, just there's Elvira, and I was like, oh shit. So I went up, I saw the commissions, gave her the blank, and that's it there.
That's lush.
Wow. I absolutely love it. That looks like an actual cover.
In person, it is amazing. The detailing in it is wicked.
Yeah. So absolutely in love with that. I'm probably going to send that to get graded at some point. But I just keep staring at it. I'm just like, wow. Just even the way it comes over the title and everything, I just love that. She worked God Lover all day on it. Every time I walked
all friggin' day.
I gave it to her in the morning, and she was still working on it at 3:00 or something.
And whose book didn't she get a chance to work on? Because she was working on yours all day.
Yours?
Yeah, mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, you
mine's in bloody Italy somewhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
So
yeah.
that's what I got, and then I handed. I have a couple I gave blanks I gave out that I've not gotten back yet. So Ian Richardson's doing me the Fog one, and
It's just a blank page.
yeah. So just Ghost Pirate. I said Ghost Pirate do the Fog thing. He said he's seen the Fog. So he'll do me something from that. And then John Pearson, Peter, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is doing me Ash from Evil Dead.
Oh,
so I have
God.
an Army of Darkness blank. Did
I've
you
got
forget
one
about that
with him
one?
as well. I've got one with him as well, haven't I?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So that's my thought. So I'm excited to get them back anyway. But yeah, it was good. There's a very expensive addiction, I think, getting like sketches and blanks and stuff done. So yeah.
Just with your mention, John. Sorry, I should also mention this. Picked up this for our good friend. So this will be coming your way, Fuzzy. So drop us your address, Fuzzy, and I'll send it your way. Great book that. If you haven't read that one, recommend you read it. Very, very cool. Efrain, do you have anything you want to show off?
No, I didn't really buy that much stuff, to be honest with you. I was just walking around and just enjoying the convention, and I just didn't want to, bring back stuff in my suitcase thinking it might get squashed and stuff like that. I got a couple of the ones that you did, Peter, the remarks by that artist, and like I said, I picked up a book from John Lee's, and I picked up a book from Kevin's book too on Thor. Yeah, I picked those are about the 4 books I picked up.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Charlie, anything you want to show off?
Yeah, so you was talking about, is it Richard or Robert Langridge, the Muppets guy?
Richard, I think. I'm not sure.
We'll go with Richard. We'll go. So anyway, Little Dick, we spoke to him, and we said.
Sorry, there's another joke there, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go.
So obviously, I've got a penchant for Harley Quinn, so I kind of went up to the guy and said, "Would you mind doing me Miss Piggy as Harley Quinn?"
Love this. Look at that.
There we go.
Amazing.
It's just awesome. And again, he was just like, "I've never been asked to do that before, so thank you very much."
Just hold it up again, sorry, Charlie.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. And they dropped it. There we go. Look at that.
I mean, the detail again for 25 quid. This guy is amazing, absolutely amazing. And he did a he did a version for Dr. Von Hoot as well, I believe.
Yeah, the Von Hoot one is amazing. It just looks like something out of Family Guy, but it was incredible. Yeah, it was so good. And then, yes, as we mentioned, we do have a tops artist amongst us. And I kind of had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2021 free comic book day. And I gave it to our good friend James. He done it and sent it in a post.
Oh, look at that.
Which is pretty cool. Like, that is awesome. Love that.
Love that.
And then, yeah, I've got a couple. This really, really great American guy knew that I loved wrestling comics, so I managed to bring them all the way over. So yeah, massive thanks to that. My little boys love them, so I looked through that. And then, James, you did mention that it's not all about how much things cost at the con. And I've had for the past 3 years now, I've gone to an artist called Baz Renshaw, and he literally has a sign there that says free commissions. And he's got his daughter next to him that sells a couple of comic books and stuff. But I was like, the first year I think I got a Judge Dredd or something done. Then I got Harley Quinn. And then this year, Harley Quinn's really, really good. I'll have to post that up on my Instagram. Then this year I took a blank Transformers cover and asked him to do me a cover. And he said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." Went back the next day and he was like, I'm sorry. I did ask if you were sure in this. And then he kind of just did that for me.
Stunning.
Wow.
So good.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And that's free. Absolutely free.
And that was absolutely free.
Dang.
Nothing at all. It's incredible. And even the detailing on it as well is
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
surprising.
Very
And
jealous of that one.
I get one done from him every single year.
Yeah.
And then also the only other thing I've done is every time I go there, I kind of pick up these little cards.
Yeah.
And I just kind of collect them. But overall, it was just fantastic. It was just great seeing everyone, seeing little setups and stalls and stuff. And obviously, Kev Draws was there, was awesome as well. So it was really good.
Stunning stuff as usual. C4 Dark Means asking, did anyone visit the Mad Robot Comics table? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Mad Robot.
Can't remember that one, mate. There's that much to see, mate. You just kind of, you have to just absorb it all, you know. Okay, let's move on, guys. I guess just in summary, another phenomenal convention. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely going to be trying to get back next year as well. We've got 36 people watching. Can't believe that. So thank you so much, everybody. They've obviously come to see you, Charlie. So thank you for that, everybody.
London
Please
special.
do make sure you hit that like and subscribe for all of our channels. Killer Comic Show live every Thursday night, 9 o'clock. One Good Scare Show, doing all your horror content. Passpoint Comics. Efrain also does a live show on a Saturday night.
Hopefully, I'll do it this Saturday again.
Early morning for us, but
Yeah.
please do check that out as well. And myself over at Triple G Comics. Okay, so we parted company with the gang on Monday morning, and then we headed off to York. You ever been to York before, Charlie?
I have. I love York. It's a really, really like quaint little city. Awesome. Love it.
Absolutely stunning little place. Really, really nice. Evening, Luke. Nice to see you. Hope you're well, bud. And evening, Darren. Always nice to see you. So, yeah, so we took Efrain for a little bit of a wander around York. We had a canny time. We went to the is it called the Shambles? Harry Potter shops and all that kind of stuff, which was good fun. And we did 2 events when we were there. We did the York Dungeon, and then we did Jorvik. So, James, do you want to tell a little bit about what went on at the York Dungeon to start with?
Yeah, so it's sort of like a theatrical history kind of lesson. So like there's all actors. We walk in. If anyone's ever done the London Dungeons, I think it must be the same company that does it. But yeah, so you walk in. There's like an actor comes in. I for some reason got picked on. I got asked to be like the volunteer twice. So the first one was I had to put my hand in a thing and it like blew air at me and scared me, and then I had to walk out of the room first, and the guy jump scared me. It was like great. But yeah, no, it's cool. It goes through like Guy Fawkes, kind of the London bombing, 5th of November stuff. There was like kind of some history of Yorktown as well, like some kind of killers that were executed and thieves and stuff. There was like one really cool. It was we were on a train, and the train starts getting robbed. So it's like you hear gunshots outside and stuff. It was very cool, very immersive. Like so, yeah, really enjoyed that. Spooky. I also got paddled by like a torturer at one point in it as well. So yeah, it was interesting.
You sound like you had a great time, James.
I did, absolute blast. Yeah.
I'd been to the York Dungeons maybe 10, 15 years ago. I don't remember it being quite as dark and as scary, because it was certainly set up for jump scares and things like that. Yeah. Efrain, you're not a big jump scare horror kind of fan. How did you find the dungeons?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, you know. Just I know it was like jump scare and trying to scare people, but also, God, just how people lived back then, you know, like no remorse, almost just no remorse for human life, you know. So, but it was fascinating, and I got picked to. I was like in the court. I was trial. I didn't want to do that at all. I didn't want to go up there, man, but I did, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. A great day out. I'd recommend it to people if you've not been before. We then went on to Jorvik, which is the kind of the archaeological dig site in the center of York, about Vikings and things like that. Efrain, you're a big history fan. Did you enjoy that, the kind of stuff we saw there?
Oh yeah, it was so fascinating to me. I like those things at the museum, which we'll probably talk about later on. I just wanted to stay there and I was just fascinated by a different civilization, how they lived, you know, back then. And they actually had like skeletons of people who died all those years ago, and the currency that they used and all the artifacts. It was so fascinating. You know, I couldn't get over the fact that we were like standing on it, you know, the glass thing. I couldn't put 2 and 2 together. And then I was asking you, Peter, I think if they dug in other parts of that city, they could still find stuff, I'm assuming, but you know, it's so buried, right?
Yeah. It's again a fascinating place to visit.
Really loved it.
Well worth a little trip if you haven't been before. C4 Darkmane is saying, "Oops, where is it? I did Warwick Dungeon. I got sentenced to death for hanging around the toilets and peeing in a film."
James can relate to that, can't you, James?
Yeah. You can. Yeah. Von Hoot's here. Sorry, I'm late. Did we discuss waking up James T. Keegan sunrise yet? I would imagine people are starting to piece together, James, that you may have
better than I can, I think. So
yeah, you may have had your Tinky Winky out at one point during the night. Hope it wasn't.
Hang on now. That
was 11:08.
That makes that sound worse than it is. I woke up for some reason. Me and Peter were sharing a room. I'll just take that one. And I woke up naked for some reason. So I just stripped off.
And Pete was grinning in the corner.
Yeah. So when Pete woke up, it was presumably my bare ass staring at him.
Not your ass.
No,
not your ass. Not your ass.
So so that's that. So I'm over it. So I've moved on. So should everybody else.
And then you decided on the way home, didn't you, that Weatherspoon's steps looked a bit dirty. So you thought you'd help him out by giving him a clean.
I gave him a clean. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, moving on. It was like the start of the Lion King. Yeah. Hope you took Efrain to Hartlepool Diamond of the North. No, absolutely not. Rufy Peter Scans. And anyway, moving on. So after we'd been to York, when we were at York, we tried to get Efrain to eat an ice cream, but by this point we'd realised that Efrain wasn't coping well with the cold weather. We went back to my house, spent the night at my house. He met my dogs, and it started to bloody snow, didn't it? It was little bit chilly to say the least. After that, headed down to good old London on the train. Efrain had been chatting for a while about a lovely and Jason Parker is in the house. Absolutely, Jason. Absolutely, mate. So Efrain had been talking about this eatery for a while. So Efrain, tell a little bit about this.
So it was on a Netflix show called Noodles, and it was like 4 episodes. And one of them, I even forgot the name of the restaurant. But then I found out when I was watching that episode, she was based in London, and the food looked so delicious. I told guys, we got to go here. We got to check it out. What are the odds of me watching a show on one of the episodes? That lady, she was moved to London and she opened up her own restaurant, and it just happened to be right around the corner, basically from the hotel we were staying at. So we went. I mean, the food was as delicious as it looks like, except for one incident that happened to Peter. Peter, you want to tell the story?
So everybody else enjoyed their meal, and I sat waiting. I did the British thing, Efrain, which isn't to kind of challenge the waiter, but when a waiter passed us, I kind of looked at him sternly, and he said to us, "Your lamb is coming." I said, "Oh, thanks very much." And then we'll wait.
No, he didn't say. He said, "Your lamb is coming."
Yeah, right.
Why are you looking at me like that? Your lamb's coming. Stop looking at me. This isn't yours.
So I sat and waited, and then Efrain and James finished their entire meals,
which was delicious. I have to say now, mine was the one on the bottom left there. It was like this kind of soy beef. Oh, it was delicious. It was very good.
The only thing I can guess is the waiter looked at me and thought that guy needs to lose a bit of weight, so decided to help us out. So in the end, I politely said, "Stick it up your ass. We're going."
What's unfortunate?
Yeah, to be fair, he took it off the bill, and they took 10% off the bill.
Yeah.
But I was bloody clamming after that. But the starters were nice, weren't they? The bits I did have were
overall the food was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wanted to go back at one point to get more. I also was a bit disappointed because I wanted to taste when you cancelled your lamb. I wanted a taste of that, so I was a bit annoyed. But the noodles are very
all
nice.
right. I'm sorry. I disappointed.
Selfish bastard you are, Pete. No, like food, honestly, phenomenal food.
I mean, and unfortunately, what happened to Peter. But I would like to go back to that restaurant.
Yeah, I would.
I'm just trying to find the name of it. What was it called?
I'll find it. And everybody,
something like MEI.
Anybody needs the name, I can get it for them. If you're in London, shoot me a message on Instagram. It's really good. I highly recommend. I mean, unfortunately, what happened? It's crowded too.
It was heaving. It was absolutely heaving. It was heaving. And again, I'd got in first to try and organise a table, and they'd basically shoot us away. So Efrain went in and secured a table at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. I went back and I go, "Look, man, can't you put us down? We'll be back." And he goes, "Okay, what's your name?"
So we've got to slide in a bit about some of the different food we had. But Charlie, I'm interested. As a Cockney geezer, what food would you have expected Efrain to taste when he was there?
100% pie mash. Pie mash. It's an English delicacy. It's literally a meat pie with liquor, so it's parsley mixed in like a sauce with vinegar. It's lovely, and you have a scoop of mash. It's gorgeous. I can't believe these two ruffians didn't even treat you to that. But you had fish and chips, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yep. Next time I come, Charlie, and we're in London, we'll bring you along.
Mate, next time you come, I'll take you to pie mash. We'll have some proper pub grub.
Yeah,
and we'll have a right good show.
I feel
jelly deals. Yeah, look, Jason Parker, jelly deals, cockles, Yes. See? No. See?
No.
Cockles and
Not any of that.
whistles.
Not any of that. We moved on from there and we met up with Luke, Hydra Collectibles, for a bit of a wander around. And we ended up, I'm embarrassed to say I've been to London lots of times and I've never been to the Imperial War Museum before. But we spent a good couple of hours in there, and it was pretty darn impressive, if not a little bit heartbreaking. The kind of the World War II side of things, and the it was just devastating. Efrain, you're a big history fan. What did you think of this place?
Oh, I loved it. It was so fascinating, seeing something that's, I mean, none of us were around, even though I am old. I wasn't around in World War II, It's just fascinating seeing all the artifacts, even from World War I. But at the same time, it was, I was very respectful, and it hit at the heartstrings. It's sad too, because they had a part in the Holocaust too. And it was just heartbreaking, what people go through. And, history seems always to be repeating itself. People don't learn from their mistakes, governments don't learn. So, but it was fascinating,
And I think that was the thing. I think I might have posted something at the time on Instagram, because obviously I'm very aware of the history of World War II and all that, and the Holocaust. But there was a lot of stuff talking about the lead up to the war and about how political figures inserted themselves into positions of power by stoking fear in immigrants and things like that. And it was just like reading a list of what's happening in today's world. It was just devastating. We could have spent so much longer there. We only covered World War II and rushed through the Holocaust, really. So we didn't touch on a lot of the other stuff. James, I know you're a younger man. Was this of interest to you? Did you enjoy this?
I like a bit of culture, Peter. I did. I'm a history buff, so I love a good museum. Seeing all the artifacts and stuff. It was so much bigger than I was expecting, and like that, I would say that about every museum we went to, where you get to the front, you're expecting kind of like a library size thing. It's like just gargantuan. So you go in, there's just like jets and planes and just suspended in the hallway, tanks and everything. So it was really cool. I love a bit of World War II and seeing kind of the all the Nazi memorabilia and the kind of all the military uniforms and everything. It was really interesting. Really enjoyed that.
Charlie, have you visited there before?
Do you know what? Living in London, you kind of take for granted everything's there already. But we, as Jason said, we have some amazing museums in London. We've got like the Paradox Museum, we've got the Science Museum, the War Museum and stuff. And the majority of them are free. It's just when you go in to do certain parts of it, that's where you have to pay. But you could, in the War Museum, you could lose days there. Yeah. Because there's so much to read and there's so much involvement in there. And as Efrain said, it really does tug on the heartstrings. And then you kind of open up Pandora's box because you start looking about that, and then you realise that happened because of that. We're cultured. We're cultured. Londoners are cultured.
It's interesting, because just in relation to Jason's comment there and in your comment, Charlie, I've been to London so many times and it's never once occurred to us to check out some of these museums. I hadn't appreciated that all of the museums we went into were absolutely free. You could go and spend at least a day in the Imperial War Museum, and the one we're going to touch on in a little bit, the British Museum, again, absolutely free, and you could spend a couple of days there. It was that vast, So Jason, there's loads to see and do that's free.
They're crafted though, because it's free to get in, but then it's £65 for a coffee. So it weighs it up.
It weighs it up. Yeah. James is waiting on them to come to Live Like Night at the museum. Yeah. Absolutely. And Jason's in the Maritime Museum is amazing. Didn't see that one, but stunning stuff. So after we'd spent a few hours in the museum, which was spectacular, we decided that as Efrain was in London, we really wanted to experience what a proper London night was like. So we ended up walking around the streets on a Jack the Ripper guided tour, just to try and get them as cold as we possibly could. Shit the bed. I'm used to cold, but that night
was... You look different in that picture on the right. Efrain, you look so different.
Efrain had 2 pairs of socks on and he wouldn't share them.
Everyone I showed this photo to said, because I took this one, said, why is Peter standing on the other side of the group? And I said, I don't know, he just didn't want to stand.
I've been with you a few days by then, James. I was just, what I mean? As much distance from you as possible.
If only they'd seen you in Wetherspoons a weekend before.
But look how cultured I look. Long jacket, scarfed up. I think I look the best. Anyway, this was really interesting. I knew Is that a real chin? Yeah, Jimmy Hill chin. This was fascinating. I knew a fair bit about Jack the Ripper. I haven't watched a lot of documentaries and From Hell and all that kind of stuff. But this was, I don't know, basically what they do on the tour. Actually, James, you tell what was in the tour because I'm talking a lot. Tell a little bit about what we
so this took off from Whitechapel. I got the pamphlet as well because I'm Jack the Ripper is like, this is something I wanted to do for years. Jack the Ripper is like one of my favorite kind of historical events, I suppose. So it was just kind of a walk through Whitechapel, going through over some of the murder scenes, and then like kind of some other kind of tertiary details. Like there was a suspect, so we passed by a suspect's house, which is a house now. So there was just a group of 20 people standing outside this poor woman's house taking photographs or whatever. But it was good. Like the tour guide was very knowledgeable about it. There wasn't as much like theatrics as I was expecting because it promised this thing called like Ripper Vision, and it was just literally the guy had like a little hand projector, and so you get to spots, but like it would literally be like this. He'd have to boot it up every time, so it would go like files, and he'd be flicking through files to get it. So it wasn't like a, super. That was a bit of a stretch calling it something. It definitely added to the thing because you're seeing photos like the murder scenes, like photos back then. Oh, this is there, so that was interesting. But like calling it Ripper Vision and shit, it's a bit like, it's a bit of a stretch. But honestly, like I would strongly recommend if anyone's even mildly interested in this kind of event, Jack the Ripper, check it out. It's really cool.
Yeah. Now, Efrain, you weren't that familiar with Jack the Ripper before the tour. Did the coolness aside, did you enjoy this?
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm just a lot into history. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Just fascinated by how, not fascinated, but horrific by what the killer did, especially to the last victim. I went, dang, man, he was really just out there. And just one thing I found fascinating is like there seemed, from what I understood, there were like different sanctions of police across the city, and they didn't, help each other out. When all these crimes were happening, they didn't collaborate with each other. I thought that was a big mistake. And just the era of that time, and there's one thing that stuck in my mind, that they would have like a rope, and people would sleep on the rope, and they would charge them just to lie on top of the rope and just sleep on. I went, dang, man, people lived back then, it's unimaginable,
Fuzzy's asking an interesting question here. Are you any closer to catching them?
We're on the case.
We're on the case, Fuzzy. Charlie, are you familiar with Jack the Ripper's case?
I was just about to say, because you know what everyone said about there was different sanctions of police. The whole thing of that is that they all wanted to be the one that caught him, so they didn't want to help each other out.
Yeah,
and it just didn't make no sense why that was happening. Like surely they could have caught him if he'd done it earlier before.
Yeah,
wow, that's crazy.
So in terms of the kind of the suspects, any of you guys leaning towards anyone in particular? I personally like the royal connection, the one about the scandal within the royal family. So they got the royal surgeon to go and bump off these people and make an example of them.
That was interesting. I never heard that before.
Yeah.
I think that was the one that people kind of lean towards, because obviously the connections that they would have had in the underground, and it would have gone unnoticed because it would have been faux pas for someone of that establishment to do that. I think that's the one that is the common one that people think if it was going to be anyone, it was going to be from that timeline.
See, if that's true, why would people? I mean, I know it's a different era and people thought differently, thought less of human life, so to speak, but why? Geez.
I don't know. I think governments and royalty and people in power will do a lot to cover up things, won't they?
Just look what's happening now.
Yeah. James, what about yourself?
The royal one would be my favorite one, but it's very conspiracy theory, isn't it? So, like obviously it wasn't like the easy answer is just some common guy, but like obviously there's evidence in the kind of surgical skill of the kills that like this was someone who was well trained.
That's true.
Barber, I think so. They had mentioned it could have been a barber, could have been a doctor of some kind. So like it was definitely someone who wasn't from that area, because like you wouldn't have many educated people from that. So
and it's interesting, isn't it? Because at the end of the tour, they did put up that final image of the last victim, and it was horrific, absolutely horrific.
It's because he got interrupted in earlier that night, killing someone else. So that was just a throat slash. So whereas he went and just tore this woman apart,
Fuzzy, I had it all week, mate. All week. Every opportunity, there was some kind of dig about the British. Jason, he was a surgeon for the Royals. Yeah, mate, that's the one that I'm leaning towards. So what they reckoned was, I can't remember which Royal it was, but had an affair with one of the working girls and had a child with them. And the working girls clubbed together and tried to blackmail the royal family. So they got their chief surgeon to go and basically kill off all these people who were trying to blackmail them, but to send a message so no one would try it again, hence the brutal butchery and whatnot. But yeah, pretty darn scary. Yeah, that's right.
Did they on the tour? Did they tell you kind of who it was and stuff?
Yeah, went over some suspects.
Yeah,
but it's never been 100% confirmed, has it? So they just kind of talked about it.
I think I was just looking at it, and it was in 2014. It was Aaron Kominski that there was like a Polish barber.
Yeah, that's the barber. They mentioned the barber.
That's the barber. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, good stuff.
That story loses its appeal, I feel, though, if you just knew who it was.
Yeah.
You know, it's the mystery of it, I think, is what makes it so interesting.
His real name is Roger, and he's from Croydon.
Yeah.
That makes any sense.
Yeah.
So that was with first night. Well, I had a little bit of excitement when we got back to the hotel, didn't we, Efrain?
Did you?
We did.
Well, I mean, you tried out 3 or 4 different rooms.
Oh, the room again with the hotel room. So
I have to call you Oprah.
So we went to the hotel back to my room. I couldn't turn on the heater, and I asked James came over. Their room was right next door to help me out.
We were back in our room for 5 minutes and we got a knock on the door.
Yeah,
we're like, what is this now? Guys, I can't turn the radiator on.
And then James came to help me out, and then he noticed that the window was dislodged. You know, it
was locked open, so you couldn't close it fully.
And we couldn't turn on the heater, so we went downstairs. James came with me, and they gave me a new room. So we went to the new room, and when we opened it up, it was like an inferno window. The heat just hit us. I went, "Oh my god,
this is very hot!
Too hot in here." We tried turning it down, right, Jason? It wouldn't.
No, there's no nozzle on the radiators.
There was no nozzle on the radiator.
Was stuck on full blast. Yeah. So it was like.
So I was like, "Oh my god!" Part of me just
back down. So it was like Goldilocks, too cold, too hot.
Yeah.
Third room was just right. Double the size of our one. Like you got upgraded.
They gave me one of the lux rooms on the 5th floor, so it wasn't close enough. But it was like bigger than.
I brought him up in the elevator. The elevator's open. It's like Trump Tower, like big grand staircase and everything. Turn the corner. He's got a separate bathroom and shower room. Like his bloody.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, this will do. This will do."
So I was like, but seriously, me in hotel rooms over there, I was like, "Gosh, I just couldn't get it right." I was starting to get pissed off a little bit.
Yeah, I could tell.
Anyway, next day, we went to the British Museum, which again was
hang on. What's that picture in the middle?
What? That's just you next to the little statue with the little tinky winky.
Right.
So yeah, next year we went to the British Museum. Again, we only had, I think, 3 hours here. So we had a good look around. We spent some time in ancient Egypt. Went to the Japanese side, which was really, really cool. Went to Mexico. Some really interesting artifacts. Again, really, really cool. Efrain, did you enjoy this place?
Oh my God, I loved it. I mean, just walking in and looking up how many stories there were of this museum. I wanted to stay more, at least another 2 hours, to be honest with you. But I know we were on a schedule, But we made sure we got the Egyptians, and we seen some knights there too, and China or Japan. I forgot. Seeing the samurai there, it was so fascinating. And I go, gosh, I want to stay there for basically the whole day. This is a whole day visit. You should everybody it's at least a day, to really see everything. But it was so fascinating. And then, of course, I asked, how did they get all this stuff? And James made some kind of crack, like they stole it or something.
They stole it.
It's
stolen from other countries and other cultures. They just go around the world. Stealing shit.
When I go back, I want to go back to there and to the War Museum too, to get it fully appreciated even more. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. I wanted to stay there.
Yeah, it was great. Have you been there, Charlie?
I went there years and years ago, like with my little boys. They went on a school tour and they needed some educational parents. Fuck knows why they took me, but I just went along for the crack and it was wicked. And again, it's one of them things that you can lose yourself in and just forget time. And before you know it, you've done like 6 or 7 hours. Then you kind of think, Jesus, now you ain't even scratched the surface.
Absolutely. So the day before, we'd had about half an hour to spare, and we are going to try and jump in there. I'm so pleased we didn't. But the thing that blew my mind with this place was you walk through the main doors. I was just expecting to walk into a museum, but you walked into this like huge bloody foyer area, which was just humongous.
Yeah,
but yeah, just stunning, just stunning. Yeah, very, very cool, very cool. James, you like that one?
Yeah, I thought it was really, really cool. I love a bit of history. Samurai stuff. I'm really happy to see that. So we got to the Japan exhibition. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I love just seeing swords and armor and stuff. There's gladiator stuff. It's really like amazing. You walk into a room and like there's a pot with like Hercules on it from 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. You know, it's pretty incredible to see.
Tell you what blew my mind and totally educated us, and I was surprised because it was actually Mr. Keegan here that educated us. There was a load of Roman plates and things with Swatch stickers on it. Now, I assumed that they'd had the Swatch stickers printed on them when the Germans had stolen the artifacts. I never realized that the Swatch sticker had been around for thousands of years, and the Nazis kind of took it.
Yeah.
So that was really
when I told him that, he said, "No, that's not true." And I said, "Easy, son."
I think I said that.
He said, "No, that's not true." I said, "Yes, it is. Look it up." And he looked it up. He was humbled immediately.
I'm not sure about that. Darkman is saying, last time I was in London, I went to the Natural History Museum just to use the toilets because it's free. Yeah. So we enjoyed ourselves there. From there, we went and did some sightseeing. We went to Houses of Parliament. We went into the Houses of Parliament. Actually,
I just love seeing how happy you all are.
Yeah.
It warms my heart.
Warms your little heart. Big Ben looked spectacular. The last few times I've been in London, Big Ben's been having its renovation, so it was covered in scaffolding, so it was lovely to see it without that. Buckingham Palace, let's be honest, a bit of a letdown, it felt like, I have to say, from the outside. It's not what I expected.
No, it's big. It's just a building with a big gate. I thought it was going to be this grand palace, like a massive thing, you know. It wasn't really.
Unless they've got the changing of the guards and they're doing the horses and stuff, it's pretty dull. It's just full of tourists like yourself just taking pictures outside of gates. Like
the most impressive thing is in the area. There's all the statues and kind of the big grand fountains and stuff. I thought that was more interesting to look at.
You went to Trafalgar Square and stuff, and see Nelson's column and everything. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Dead man, it's the Elizabeth Tower, Peter. Big Ben is the bell. There we are.
I'm still gonna call it Big Ben. I'm not calling it.
Me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty spectacular. Like I say, Efrain chatted up a police officer and somehow managed to get into the Houses of Parliament, into a sitting session of Parliament.
Yeah.
So we sat in the back and watched that.
It was a debate about sending Ukraine aid. And there was this MP talking about her childhood. Don't know how that related in any way. So we sat for like 6 or 7 minutes and then just said, all right.
This is really interesting from Darkney, and it's a Buckingham Palace. It's a bit worn inside. I went with my dad when he got an MBE. First of all, congratulations on that. But that's interesting because I was saying to Efrain, I've been in St. James's Palace on a couple of occasions, and that's exactly what I thought. It looked worn inside. It looked old and grubby, which was interesting. They've obviously, James, not stolen enough artifacts and things or tins of paint.
That's it. I think they've stolen enough, Peter, in my opinion. Maybe some back.
When I went to Westminster, the tour guide said the Irish couldn't stop nagging for independence. QR uncomfortable. SM, nice to see you. Glad you're on the show. It was interesting because all this week I had a nagging Irishman in my ear as well, criticising the English, which was slightly off-putting. Efrain, what bit of sightseeing did you enjoy the most out of this day? What
Big Ben? It looked so beautiful. I mean, just the color of it, you know, and Parliament right in the middle picture. I love walking all the way in the park, and maybe there's a picture of the park that we were walking through. But I mean, Buckingham Palace, I was disappointed. I told them it looks dreary. Like, why don't they spice it up and make it whiter? And Peter goes, like the White House. I go, maybe not like that, but just I don't know. I was like, you know, I mean, I was unimpressed. You know, sorry to say, but
it doesn't.
When we walked around it, I go, why are we walking around the back of this building? You know?
Yeah, that was.
You know nothing around there, is there, Pete? There's nothing around there.
Well, there is. There's a lovely big brick wall all the way around it. Like 45 minutes of walking around a brick wall.
In the brick walls, they should have like little plexiglass windows, so maybe you can see inside. If there's anything to see from the back, just because we didn't know.
The probably just don't expect people like us to walk around the back wall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How stupid does it have to be?
I'm glad I seen it, but like I said, I was expecting a little bit more.
Yeah, it doesn't look very palace-like when you imagine a palace in your head. Yeah. Charlie, you must get used to all these sights, I suppose.
Well, I travel into London every day, so you kind of see it, but you can understand when tourists come and look round it, because it is a sight to behold. It is good. But tell me, you went in a black taxi. You went in a black cab, didn't you?
We didn't. We got Ubers everywhere.
Efrain, I'm so sorry you had these two showing you around, mate.
Charlie, I told you, man. It was to the point of, I think they assumed that I was like a London tour guide, because all the questions, I either just bluffed my way through and lied, or I just had to say, I haven't got a clue, man. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know.
Did you say black taxi?
Yeah.
Oh, is this a taxi that's black?
The picture of what you got in, it's iconic. It's iconic. It's the iconic black.
It's like someone goes to New York and they want to get in a yellow cab.
Yeah. Oh, it's the picture that just showed you're standing in front of one.
Yeah. We got in lots of Ubers, which were Teslas, and talked a lot about cars.
We had some very nice Uber drivers. I give them a shout as well. Yeah.
Although what I would say is, getting an Uber in London, you might as well just walk, because we just spent the same amount of time stuck in traffic. Windsor Castle's way more interesting. Absolutely, I've stayed at Windsor Castle when I was doing a conference. A great place to visit. We'll take you there next time, Efrain. And Wayne, I love it when COVID was about. It was nice and empty. Nobody tourists getting me. Charlie, we didn't get him in a black cab, but we got him near a DeLorean.
There we go. Look at that.
What I mean? This was Back to the Future. We did this on the nighttime Back to the Future, the musical. Efrain, your first experience of a musical theatre show, really. So it was a bit of a new one for yourself. I think it's fair to say me and James, big fans of theatre in general, big fans of Back to the Future. I absolutely loved everything about this. I thought the acting was phenomenal, the special effects. I'm not going to spoil it for people who go to see it. The stuff that happens at the latter half of the second half, which is just amazing. Yeah. I thought the star for me was the guy who played Doc. Just hilarious. James, what did you think of this one?
Phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. Like, as soon as that opening song, "Rock My Future," it's just so catchy. Yeah, like I think obviously these two actors are stepping into very iconic kind of roles and adapting that for a musical. I think they both worked so well in it. I think some of the technology in it was really impressive. Like, there's a kind of like front and rear projectors. So there's like a part where the DeLorean's driving and it actually looks like it's driving. It was really amazing. So yeah, great songs. Really funny. Like, there's some kind of fourth wall breaking moments that I thought were really great as well. Like, just a blast. Like, I probably, in terms of like musicals I've seen, I would put this probably Hamilton and then this. I would.
Wow.
Yeah. I totally forgot to suggest to you that you probably wouldn't have been able to get tickets to, but Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
We were talking about it before. We'll go see it another time, I think.
Me and my wife went to see it last year, and it is one of the best things I've ever seen. Things they do in that, you think that should have been in a TV show. Like, how have you done that in a theatre? It's incredible.
This is the thing about London. There's so many shows you could go and see. You could spend every night. And as someone who loves theatre, I would be happy just blasting through them all. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So Stranger Things was on the list. There was a one with Sigourney Weaver that we like the look of. Harry Potter. 2 shows of that. Just stunning. Efrain, your first experience of kind of a musical, what did you think of it?
So I don't go to musicals at all. The first musical I've been to, like, I can honestly say, like 40 years. I just don't go. And at the beginning, I was comparing it too much to the movie, which I shouldn't have done. That's what, the first half, it was just okay to me, but I just said, why don't they do this? How come they don't do that? Compared to the movie. The second half, I loved it. I got more into it. I go, dude, get over yourself. It's not the movie, I really enjoyed the second part and everything from it, Would I go to another musical? I told my daughter, and we're planning to go to another musical, see if we can find something to go to, because it's a unique experience. I was just being kind of a snob at the first half, because I'd never been to one, like, what's this?
Efrain, I don't think it's being a snob. I think it's the same as any time you watch any kind of adaptation of something where you're really familiar with the source material. You can't help but kind of compare it. Do you know what I mean? And Doc Brown wasn't Doc Brown. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't
comparing it too much, But I love the ending. I was trying to figure out how the hell did they do that when spoilers if you don't want to hear, but the car rises up and it seems to go into the audience and then it zooms. I go, what the hell they do that? It's but the stage wasn't big. So it's a very
I assume it's some kind of black crane arm or something like that brings it out, but it was like a wow moment, like like it's hovering above you. There
cool. Was I want to apologize again to you guys because we were supposed to. You guys went to the show the next day, but I just went. By the time I get back to the hotel and start packing, I don't think I'd be into. I'd just be too tired, so I didn't go the second night.
Yeah. But this was a good experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Charlie, not one you've seen yet.
No, I haven't. My first, again, I was a bit like Efrain. I was like, I'm not really into musicals. Don't want to do that and stuff. But the first one I went to see was Wicked.
Oh yeah,
which was Wicked. Amazing, which was incredible. And then it kind of opened up. We went and see obviously Stranger Things and the Harry Potter one as well. Which, if you're a Harry Potter fan, is incredible. Yeah. Like it really is incredible because obviously you'll talk about it, but it was amazing.
Yeah. This I think your boys would like this, Charlie. Get them to watch Back to the Future, and then because it's just funny. It's a great show. Great show. C4 Darkman will be getting Triple J the stage play. Absolutely writing it.
Love to see that.
They made the car do something similar for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Oh, interesting. Very impressive because it turns right over as well. So you see the upside of the car, which was really impressive. Anyway, food. Just briefly touch on some of the delicious food we had. There's Efrain with his fish and chips, which came with tartar sauce, mushy peas, and curry sauce. Now, Charlie, as a Londoner, I was a little bit surprised at this. The curry sauce and the mushy peas were cold. Is that normal?
No, that's not normal at all.
No.
Yeah, I thought that. Me and James both said I think that.
Again, Efrain, I can just apologise. I can only but apologise for these two showing you around. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Your first time in London eating our traditional grub, and they serve you this.
Jeez, we didn't serve them it.
It said outside. It was serving them that. Absolutely shocking.
Had good reviews. People seemed to like it, so we went to.
It was canny. It was all right. The carrot soup was nice. That was tasty. Efrain, what did you think of your fish and chips?
Oh, I loved it. I've had fish and chips here, and the one at least at this restaurant, it would seem to be a little bit. They were bigger and more fluffier. I have nothing to compare it to, but next time when I hang out with Charlie, I'm sure.
But he'll get you jellied fish or something when you don't want to be eating
jelly deals. That's it, and your cockles. That's all you need.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was nice. We went to a whole host of different restaurants. I had pizza and Italian stuff and whatnot. When I left you guys on Friday, I went to this
absolute asshole. I wanted to go to. We passed by this restaurant every time we went out. It's called Swiss Butter. There's a queue at the door, and nobody wanted to queue outside. Oh, it's too cold. What does Peter do when he leaves us?
That was his plan.
I had to eat, James. I had to eat somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
You should have gone to Burger and Lobster.
So, well, speaking of lobster, when me and James went to the play on the way back, we said we were going to grab a snack. We ended up going into this fish restaurant, and we ended up. Efrain, this is the night we'd already had the pasta meal, so we were just pigs, absolute pigs. But we ended up having a lobster meal, which was quite nice. Efrain, out of everything you had, what was your favourite meal? Do you think?
Sorry, Peter, but it was that the Asian restaurant that we went to.
The noodles I didn't eat. Thanks.
I would say that was by far and away the best thing I had at the whole trip as well.
Yeah. Well, mine was the butter steak, right, James? So yeah, some lovely food met. Nice to see you, Phil. Okay, next, Harry Potter. We spent the day at Harry Potter World. Sorry, my dogs are going mad downstairs.
Is this the one in Watford?
Yes. The studio?
Yes.
Yeah. About an hour's drive from London on the bus.
Yes. Yeah.
James had been before. Me and Efrain hadn't been before. I'll just show you some pictures, and then we'll go to Efrain first to tell a little bit about what he thought of the place. All kinds to see and do. He has some real sets from the show. Great photo opportunities.
Look at that one. Love that.
Just generally good fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was saying to James, I've done Harry Potter in Florida. This is a different experience. This is, you see the site, you see the sets, you see the workings, you see the props. So it's very different, very, very worthwhile going to visit. Efrain, what did you think of this place?
I've been to Harry Potter in Florida and the one in LA. Go to the one in Florida, but that's a little side note. The one in LA it's okay, but it's very small. I love this. If I had my chances to go to Universal Studios in Florida or here, I'd go here because I just love seeing movie props.
Yeah.
I mean, we walked in to the dining hall, the actual dining hall of the movie. I was like, this is so awesome. And all the pictures and all the props that they had there. I wish I could have, and we were on a tour. I wish we could have stayed at least another hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours almost, just taking my time walking through everything. I loved it. I know, it's not compared to what we've seen before, the history of London. I'd rather do that. But this came a close second. Just seeing this. My daughter loves Harry Potter. She says she wants to go there. So hopefully we will go back. I'll take her with me next time when it's warm.
Yeah.
But I love this, and it's awesome. I would love to do this again. It was just like, I love the movies, and I can't wait for the series to come out whenever it comes out.
I'm with you, Efrain. There's something special about seeing props, and it's particularly screen-used props.
Yes.
And I found the special effects sections fascinating, in terms of how they did the casts for people's heads and things and stuff like that. I thought it was great. It was great.
I bought a chess piece, the set, and Peter has it because I couldn't bring it with me. It was just too heavy. So I loved it. I want to go back to that.
I'm happy.
Did you guys see the head mold for Hagrid?
Yeah.
It's huge, and I assume that when you went down the Great Hall, you kind of see it. Was it all set up for Christmas?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. The last time I went a few years ago with my sister, and it was like during the summer. So it was cool seeing the kind of Christmas makeover of the whole place. They closed the place for 5 days, I think they say, to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that was just really cool to give a new flavor to it. But I love going here. Like I would 100% go again. I just love reading everything and
go back to the picture, Peter, of us in the car. We had that pushes in there, man. Yeah. It was tight fit.
Yeah. That's because you're a big chunky monkey, Efrain. You know what I mean? Me and James were pushed to one side. Yeah. But no, great fun. You've been to this one, Charlie?
Yes. Yeah. Did you try the butterbeer?
Yeah. I had butterbeer ice cream. You had it as well, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. My kids absolutely love this, and we spent the whole day there just reading every single thing, reading it. And again, as you said, like when you walk through and the big spider comes down, you can kind of see the spider and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, and it is special. It's so special.
I think there's just a magic to like the doors opening and the grand hall is there. It's just like wow.
Yeah.
It's like
the dragon that came out from the bank. That was awesome. Oh my god! I showed it to my daughter, and she was just amazed by that. That was so cool. Loved it.
Yeah, the something we didn't get to do when we're down in London, guys, because I hadn't realized it was down there. But Charlie, you might want to check it out. Is Batman the Experience? I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, Batman Uncovered.
Yeah, I did it when it was in Manchester. Yeah. But you just mentioned, James, about the opening there. There's a great bit in that where you're in Wayne Manor, and Jim Lee actually comes on the screen and talks to you for a bit. What? And then the guy touches a button under a bust, and the bookcase opens up, and it's straight into the Batcave, and it's just.
I don't need to go now. Cheers, Pete.
Yeah, no.
Where is that, in London?
Yeah, it's in London now. It's touring. It's in London. Yeah.
Oh wow, awesome.
Efrain, you had to stay for a fortnight, man. We need to squeeze more in.
Yeah.
Squeeze more in. So yeah, a great day at Harry Potter. That was a great afternoon spent. Really enjoyed that one. And then after that, Efrain, it's fair to say that we really pushed you hard. You were knackered, tired by the end of it. So you had a bit of an early night. And me and James hit the theatre, and we went to see The Play That Goes Wrong. This, if you've not heard of this one, Charlie, your boys love this.
I was gutted I couldn't come to it. I was really looking forward to it.
You need to go with your kids, mate. You need to go with your kids. Basically, this is a slapstick whodunit, and it's a performance put on by some amateur dramatic society. And basically, anything that can go wrong does go wrong, including set malfunctions, people getting knocked out by mistake, all kinds of stuff.
So they can technically just mess up the whole thing and just blame it on the play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. James, what was your experience of this?
I love this. Like I was absolutely proper in pain, laughing so much at it, like throughout the entire thing.
Wow,
Like,
okay.
it's amazing how like even like 20 minutes before the show starts, there's like the actors are going around pretending that they're crew. It's like a guy came up looking like, have you seen this dog anywhere? There's a dog missing. Like there's a big announcement, and then like, later in the play, there's a bit where there's a dog supposed to be a dog, and the guy's just pretending that there's a dog. You know, so there's a lot of things like that they see earlier on. You know, they that was really cool. But yeah, I just thought it was all the performances were fantastic. Like every line, and like it's the kind of thing you would think you would get like. It would get old after a while, but it doesn't. It's just like it starts, shit's just falling apart, things go wrong, and just escalates as it goes. And
it looks like it looks like the cast of Ghosts, that TV show, Pete.
Yeah,
it looks wicked. Yeah.
It's funny. Like I just started like actually getting invested in the story of the play that they're doing as well, which was funny. Like of who's the murderer and stuff. But yeah, it was cool. Like there's some good bits. Like there's a bit where they kind of go in circles. It's like someone forgets what their next line is, so they keep repeating the previous line, and it like starts this whole. So they keep going in circles in the scene over and over again over the thing. So that was really funny. There's like an actor who misses his cue multiple times for like a big dramatic moment. That was really good. Yeah, they're just brilliant. I think like the outside of it, one of the reviews said like perfectly choreographed chaos, and I think that's probably the best.
Because this is based on a book, isn't it?
So the basis of it is it's a drama society who are putting on the first play.
Oh, okay.
And the play they're putting on is an existing play, but the crap at it. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So this theatre group, Mischief, they're called, have done this one. They've done Peter Pan Goes Wrong. They've done a one about a heist, and they've just said they're going to launch a new one next year, which is a spy who done it kind of thing.
Yeah, let's check that.
It's just funny. It's old-fashioned slapstick humor, I guess you would call it. Yeah. So yeah, that was good fun. After we did that, we walked home and we stopped for a little bite to eat on the way back, and then it was sad times. Yeah. Efrain headed home. Yeah. James headed home. I went out for dinner. So yeah, it was an end to our week. So Efrain, this was first off. Can I just say, because I'm not being funny, but I have no doubt this will not have been a cheap couple of days for you when you factor in your flights and your hotels and your food and all that kind of stuff. And really, I'm incredibly appreciative that you laid down your time and your money to come over and see a couple of plebs from England and the guys over at Thought Bubble. So thank you so much for doing that, because I know it wasn't easy for you coming over to the cold and stuff like that. We loved having you. We absolutely loved having you. It was an absolute pleasure, and I cannot wait to do it again. It was an absolute joy, mate. So thank you so much for that. Charlie, thank you so much for Thought Bubble. As ever, superb weekend.
Thank you.
We say this every time. We need to do it more often. We need to expand beyond Thought Bubble and do a few more, either UK based or perhaps even go over to like the one that Fuzzy mentioned in Italy and things like that. Bit of a lad's holiday. I'd
spend all my time with you guys. Like, it was amazing. The fact that we would start drinking at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and we'd go on till like 4 o'clock in the morning, but it wouldn't even feel like that because there was so much banter, there was so much laughs and jokes, and the time flew. Yeah. And it was just amazing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it constantly for the next one.
Yeah. James, highlight for you?
Oh, it's tough. Yeah, the easy answer, but I think there's just seeing everyone being together, all of us at one table at Thought Bubble, like in the bar.
Yeah,
I think it's just, that's my favorite moment. But I think London, just seeing Efrain's face in the Harry Potter studio, like at the cool moments, was really good. And then I think the shows were fantastic as well. So like overall, I mean, it's hard to pick a highlight. It was such a great week for me.
Yeah, it was good fun. And Efrain, how about yourself? Anything that jumps out?
Well, first thing, a little side note. When I left, I was so worried when you guys put me on that train by myself.
I said that to you, didn't I? That was my first message. I was like, please tell me you put him on the right train.
I was like, these guys are leaving by my own. I don't feel comfortable doing this. I want to take like a private bus there to the. I'm glad we did it though.
We looked for buses, but
I was really worried. I won't lie. I was like, oh my God, these guys were by myself. If something happens, I have to get off. But it was a straight line. It was perfect. Mm-hmm. I'm glad we did it. The second thing, I said this at the very beginning, I am so appreciative of all you guys treating me as one of your gang, so to speak. I loved it. I mean, the camaraderie that you guys have, I'm very jealous of that. You know, so even as much as the sites that I've seen that I did, just hanging out with you guys during Thought Bubble, you guys are very nice. You know, very good. You guys are very good people. You know,
it's good. We'll definitely have your back though. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll show you around
con.
London.
We'll do a summer con. Yeah,
I'll show you around London.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you, Charlie. I won't tell anybody else.
No, that's fine. Just don't tell them it's fine.
Listen, thank you very much. We've had loads of people watching tonight, up to 30 odd at one point. So thank you so much for that, guys. Really do appreciate it. And again, another plug. Please go check out the Killer Comic Show, One Good Scare, and also Pass Point Comics. We really would appreciate you giving it all a sub. That's your whack. Before we move on, just to let you know, all kinds of cack on my channel as usual. I've got a few action figures reviews coming out. I've got a few videos.
Sorry, a few.
Okay. I'm trying to cut back. I'm trying to just do 2 a week. It's hard. We've got all kinds of the usual stuff. Efrain, what's coming on over on Pass Point Comics?
I'm gonna try to do one of my live shows on Saturday with my cousin. Talk about what my thoughts. Well, not my thoughts, but just a little blurb of what London, but also link it to your channel that we did today. I'm not getting that out right, and just talk about comic book news and information, which I usually do, which I enjoy doing.
Good stuff. And Charlie, Killer Comic Show this Thursday. What are we reading?
Yeah, so we are reading the Rockefellers. Is it Rocket? Yeah, Rockefellers, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're reading that. We had a couple of weeks off because we were kind of leading up to Thought Bubble and stuff, but now we've done that. We're back every Thursday. Some Thursdays, maybe not every Thursday, but we'll see you at 9 o'clock on a Thursday. Just make sure you're there.
Absolutely, and that's the usual fun and hijinks with myself, Charlie, and Andy from Perpetual Comics, where we do comic book reviews, geeky banter, and all kinds of stuff. So please do join me and give us a sub over on the Killer Comic Show. James, One Good Scare Show. Now you're going to be away for a little while. So
I'm away for the next 5 days, so we might not have anything up on the channel. I might go through some old videos and kind of clip together some stuff or something, just have something up. But our next I'll Be Right Back will be on Dog Soldiers. So that'll be our next review.
Great movie. What a film. Efrain, have you seen that? Efrain, have you seen Dog Soldiers?
Dog Soldiers? No.
Yeah.
You've not seen that. Werewolves, Efrain.
It's a movie?
It's a film. It's in London. Yeah, it's in English. Yeah, it's wicked.
So I can't remember if I've seen it or not. I think I've seen parts of it, but I've not seen the whole thing. So we'll be watching that. So that'll be like kind of first week of December. We'll have that up.
Yeah.
We're going to try and we'll not be able to do it tonight, James, but maybe later on. Oh no, you're away tomorrow, aren't you?
We'll just do it. We'll do a One Good
Heretic review at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, you seen Heretic yet, Charlie?
Yes. Hugh Grant is he gets better and better with age.
Yeah.
He really does.
Like a fine wine.
Great film.
One more thing. Luke and I were thinking of starting a new channel, One Better Scare. So,
how dare you? How dare you? Yeah, 2 good spooks. Yeah. Dog Soldiers is classic.
Yeah,
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Okay, right, gentlemen, that's your whack. Thank you so much to everybody that's watched tonight. We really do appreciate it. Please give all the channels a bit of a view and a subscribe if you like the stuff we're putting out. And with that, we'll catch you all next time. So take care, everybody. Bye.